Three things I like about the NordicTrack RW900 rower are the silent magnetic resistance, the auto adjust technology, and the endless amount of trainer-led workouts through iFit on the 22-inch touchscreen monitor. This is a solid high-tech rower for anybody looking to spice up their cardio efforts. And we got a whole lot to talk about today, so let's get right to it. Yo, what's up everybody? It's Jake back in the BarBend garage gym, and for today's video, I've got the NordicTrack RW900 rower in for review. If you're new to this whole process, we got a lot to talk about today, but specifically we're gonna talk about some money, talk about some pros and cons, some of the features this rower offers, and of course, who should or maybe should not make this purchase. Now, before I start doing all of that, I gotta let you know that we've reviewed a ton of rowers on BarBend.com, and we did the hard part for you and came up with our own best list. So if you wanna check that out, all you gotta do is search BarBend, best rowing machines. That article is gonna pull right up for you. You can find out for yourself which ones that we like the best. Okay, so once again, one of my favorite things about this rower is how quiet it is. So NordicTrack has implemented the silent magnetic resistance with this rower. And so if you don't know what magnetic resistance is, basically there's a flywheel that's hidden back there. It's encased within, and there's magnets that are on either side of it, all right? So when you go up in resistance, those magnets, are gonna become closer to one another and just basically increase that resistance. Hopefully that makes enough sense for you guys. But the best thing about it is really just how quiet it is, especially compared to a water rower. Water rowers are really loud, and so that's something that you don't have to deal with right here. Even the seat gliding on this rail, also, relatively quiet. I love the 22-inch touchscreen monitor. It makes it super easy to access all the trainer-led workouts through iFit. And like I said, there's a ton of them, but piggybacking off of that, there's even strength training, yoga classes, all of that good stuff. And what you can do is rotate that monitor right there, 360 degrees. It tilts up and down, and you can do all those additional, floor workouts, I guess we can call them, while streaming directly, from your rower still. So you don't have to, stream from the companion app on your phone or your tablet, which the companion app is really cool too. All of your stats are gonna be, immediately transferred over. It's one profile, so it all just kind of intertwines, I guess you could say. And that's, sweet. Even when you do, those floor workouts, it's gonna, vice versa, go onto your monitor right here. And that's a great way to, just keep, tabs on your overarching fitness level, which is pretty sweet. Now, as you're doing those trainer-led workouts, you're gonna experience auto adjust technology. So, basically your trainer is gonna either increase or decrease the difficulty of your workout for you, which is really cool, but you can always, override that if you feel like you need to. Now, those things being said, this rower is not perfect. There's still some things, that you're not gonna be too crazy about. First of all, it might be the money. It's gonna cost you around $2 grand. That's kind of pricey. We're gonna, compare that in a minute and kind of expand on the pricing in general. But, if it's out of your wheelhouse, you can definitely go find a cheaper one. Now, there's 26 levels of magnetic resistance, but in my personal opinion, I can't really tell that much of a difference between level 1 and level 26. So while this will probably be fine, for a beginner, maybe even an intermediate rower, if you're an experienced rower, I think you're gonna wanna go and target one that does in fact offer, a beefier resistance. Another thing here is that to really get the most out of this rower, you're gonna have to pay for an iFit subscription, whether that be 40 bucks a month, or you do one of the 3 different yearly options, which I'll talk about in a second. You're gonna have to do that, and some people may not wanna do that. If that's the case, definitely go find a more basic rower. Now, it doesn't fold. This isn't always the case with a lot of rowers, but it doesn't fold, and you don't have the option for vertical storage. So if you're tight on space, this probably isn't the best option for you. And then lastly here, my personal opinion, the handle, a little bit slick. There's a tiny bit of rubbery texture on it, but overall, I feel like it's sometimes hard to, maintain a solid grip while I'm working out. Okay, so once again, the NordicTrack RW900, it's gonna run you right around $2 grand. Well, that's the base price at least. Similar to the rest of the NordicTrack gear, that price is definitely gonna increase, based off some different variables. The first one being your choice of iFit subscription, all right? So you can always pay 40 bucks a month if that's the route you wanna go, but if you wanna save money in the long run, then it's definitely going to be worth going after one of the 3 different yearly options. The 1-year plan is about $400, 2 years is about $700, and the 3-year plan is about $900. Now, yes, that 3-year plan is extra $900 on top of a $2,000 purchase, but over that course of 3 years, you're going to save about $500. So, kind of just depends, if you envision yourself, I guess you could say, being locked in, for a long run, longevity of 3 years, for iFit. You can also spend about $200 for white glove assembly to have somebody assemble the rower for you and put it in your room of choice, which is kind of nice. So, the all-in potential total you could spend on this rower, it's about $3,200. But the cool thing is that NordicTrack does allow financing directly through them over a 39-month span. And as you're adding all these things, as you're checking out, it'll automatically adjust in real time for you. So you always get a good idea of what you can expect to pay. Now, how does this price actually stack up? It's okay. Obviously it's about double the price as, the Concept 2 or really any other, straightforward, no frills rower, like that. It's also about the same price as, similar products such as the Hydro Wave, which is also about $1,900. Now, I will say with the Hydro Wave, I felt as if the resistance packed more of a punch and that it also, has some features that I really wish the RW900 had. Specifically the drag effect. So the more leg drive you create and kind of, the harder you're pulling, I guess, if that makes sense, the harder it is to row. And that's not the case with this one right here. So if you're kind of looking for that more natural feel with an electromagnetic rower, the Hydro Wave is probably going to be the way to go. Now, whether or not, this rower is worth it really just boils down to your personal preference. We're all different. We all want different things in life, and it's definitely no different with a rower. So let's look at it this way. If you're just looking for a basic rower to hop on and, help you burn some additional calories, a couple times a week, whatever it is, then probably not. You're probably going to be better off going after a more basic, cheaper rower. However, if you're somebody who thrives off having, a teacher, a coach, trainer, whatever you want to call it, and you want a high-tech rower that offers an immersive experience, then yeah, it probably is going to be worth the money for you. Like I said, it really just boils down to your personal preference. So the RW900 does in fact have a steel framework, including that steel rail right here. So it's nice and sturdy, but it's also going to lead to it weighing about 160 pounds. I know that sounds, pretty heavy, but honestly, whenever you go to move it around with the wheels, it's really not that bad. It does have a 250-pound weight capacity, which it's okay, overall, but there's plenty of other rowers that have a higher weight capacity if that's what you're looking for. Now, the handle, it's all right. As I mentioned earlier, it technically, has a thin layer of rubber on it. It's designed to help you, achieve a solid grip, but a little slippery overall, and I feel like there's a little bit, left to be desired, I guess you could say, with that right there. Now, I really do like the foot pedals right here. They're oversized, so, pretty much every athlete, is going to be able to fit their feet in there. And then the nylon strap's really nice too. It's just going to make it really easy to lock your feet into place. Now, remember, you do have silent magnetic resistance. There's 26 levels. Once again, I couldn't really tell a difference between 1 and 26, but you might. So, just keep that in mind. Now, you also have the auto adjust technology. It's really sweet. It's one of my favorite, features with this rower right here. And that's just, it's going to prevent you from, becoming lazy, complacent, fill in the blank with your workouts. That's nice how your trainer is basically just going to be trying to push you throughout the duration of each individual workout. Now, 22-inch touchscreen monitor, already talked about that a couple times now, but remember, it does rotate 360 degrees and it pivots, tilts, whatever you want to call it, up and down, so that when you're sitting, you're looking at it in a natural position. But then also, like, whenever you're going to do your floor workouts, that'll be nice too, whether you're sitting or standing or laying on the ground, or standing. And then also just the luxury of being able to turn it and stream those, additional classes directly from the rower, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of really cool music options right there at your fingertips, and pair that with the two 30-watt speakers, you're going to get, some solid sound right there. However, you do have Bluetooth capabilities, so you can always, connect your earbuds and talk about really being quiet, especially if you have, roommates, family members, whatever. Pretty much not gonna be making like any noise whatsoever with this rower. And then also, if you're somebody who really wants to, get an accurate reading of your heart rate and, your calories that are being burned, You can always pair up your heart rate monitor, and that's gonna be a really nice touch for you as well. Okay, so remember, you do in fact have a steel framework right here, and that's including this rail. So this rower is pretty sturdy. I don't ever feel as if it's gonna, topple over on me or anything like that. Now, the seat right here, first of all, it's pretty comfortable. As you can see, there is some give right there, and that's definitely a good thing. Seats on rowers typically aren't very comfortable. This one is. Now, as far as actually, gliding across this rail, it's pretty quiet. And this is pretty much the only noise that you're going to be hearing as you're doing those rowing workouts. And I'll show you guys, just in a second, exactly what I'm talking about. Now, as we move further up, I really do like these oversized foot pedals, and especially paired with this nylon foot strap, because pretty much every single athlete, regardless of your foot size, your feet are going to be able to fit right here. And that's really nice. And then also, just this nylon strap in general just really allows you to get a tight fit around your feet. Now, this handle, it's really basic, it's just kind of straight across, as you can see. And even though there is a little bit of a, rubber texture right here, it's pretty slick. So if you have sweaty hands, definitely just be prepared for that. Might want to keep a little towel or something next to you. Now, got to talk about, the star of the show, right? Now, this 22-inch touchscreen monitor, it tilts so you can kind of, position it the best for your neck comfort and everything while you're streaming your workouts. But remember, it also rotates 360 degrees, so that way you can join any of the other classes that are available, whether it be a strength training, yoga, meditation, all that good stuff, and perform it directly on the floor, and obviously stream everything from here, so you can avoid using your phone, tablet, whatever. Now, there's so many classes to choose from, it gets kind of overwhelming, and this is the home page, so you're gonna have anything that's new goes straight up on here, right? So the latest from iFit is gonna be right here, Harvest Hustle Challenge. Up next for you, multiple challenges right here, series. You can browse by category right here. You can go to browse, and this is gonna be even more. This is basically the full library that's available. And sometimes takes a second right here. And there's filters right here. You can simply just filter by anything, workout series, duration, any specific trainer that you like, the intensity, all of that. Now, you also have a trophy case. That way, if you do any of those challenges, you're gonna get a trophy after you're done. And that's just kind of nice. You can kind of keep up with your progress and everything like that. Now, there's also this create option. And typically with NordicTrack stuff, this is one of my favorite things because Google Maps is fully integrated. It takes you somewhere random. So you just pop this into London right here. And with a rower or a bike or anything like that, you can map out your own route, and you're gonna have, well, especially with the treadmills and bikes, you're gonna have automatic adjustments to the incline and everything like that. But you're just gonna get like basically the lay of the land kind of workout. And it'd be really, really cool if you could do that with the rivers that run through cities and even ponds, lakes, everything like that, but you just simply can't. So honestly, this isn't very useful right here. So hopefully, that'd be really cool if they can update that. Now, let's just go ahead. I'm just gonna pop into a manual workout. Remember, you don't have any pre-programmed classes. You gotta pay for iFit. But you do have this manual mode if you decide you don't want to. Maybe you want to take a break, whatever. Takes 1 second to pull up. There we go. All right, so you're gonna have a little warm-up period. You're gonna have all your metrics up here at the top. Your 500-meter split, estimated calories burned. Remember, if you connect your heart rate monitor, it's gonna be an accurate reading. Time elapsed, strokes per minute, distance, and there's some other metrics that will pop up right there too. Now, let's go ahead and end the warm-up, and I'm gonna get strapped in. Should have already done that for you guys, but you know what? It's all right. We're still here. Go ahead and get strapped in really quick. And something I've noticed is that with the 26 levels of resistance, for me, 1 and 26 pretty much feel the exact same. So if you're an experienced rower, you're probably not going to be too crazy about that. But also I want y'all to hear the noise level really quick. So we're at level 1. Pretty quiet right now. Let's go ahead and go to 26. You can hear it kicking. I don't know if you can. I can. You can hear it kicking in. I mean, if I'm able to feel anything, it's a very small jump up in resistance right there. So like I said, if you're an advanced rower, it's probably not gonna be the best option for you, but if you're a beginner or maybe an even intermediate level and you're just kind of getting used to rowing in general, yeah, this is a pretty good option. So I think this rower is great for anybody who wants, really tech savvy equipment in their home gym, and also for anybody who just in general wants a trainer to lead them through their classes. On the other hand, if you're somebody who's working with a tight budget, or maybe you just want, a more basic rower in general, you can definitely find some cheaper options that kind of, fit that description. And then also, if you're an experienced rower and you've been doing it for a long time, I don't necessarily think this is the best rower for you because it might not be able to, really pack a punch the way you want it to. All right, well, that's a wrap on today's review over the NordicTrack RW900. While it might not be what everybody's looking for, if you are in fact looking for a modernized rower, this is a really solid option worth considering. Thanks for watching, y'all. I hope this video was really helpful and I was able to break down everything there is to know about this rower. As always, I always say it and I'm doing it again. Keep your eyes peeled for my next video. But for now, head over to BarBend.com because we have a full written article about this rower that I definitely think you should check out. All you gotta do is Google BarBend NordicTrack RW900 rower review. It's gonna pull right up for you. You can go over everything we talked about here today. Now I'm gonna go get a workout in. I'll catch y'all next time.